Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to the 2 Acre Homestead. I can't believe it's the month of June. We are mid-June, and I have not done a garden tour, so I thought today would be a good day. It just rained last night. We got a good heavy amount of rain, and I thought I would take you guys with me, and we're going to do a little bit of a garden tour. But first up, I'm going to take you guys to an area that I never take you to, never show you, and that is our small, soon to be enlarged kitchen garden. So let's go. So this garden is right off of our patio, and you'll have to excuse all of the noise because right up against our house is this air conditioning unit, and it's going off right now. It's a bit of a mess, a bit of a patchwork mess, but everything is edible or medicinal, and it's going to be enlarged soon, so as you can see, starting here, I've got some herbs that we planted earlier in the season. I've got a tomato that was doing really well, and then all of a sudden it just decided to keel over and not do anything. I have a sneaking suspicion that the problem with this is we have voles. It's really bad here. I mean, really, really bad. And they don't eat the roots or anything like that, but they do so much destruction, and they disturb the roots of plants, and I think that's what happened with that one. But this tomato plant here is doing really good. It's setting fruit, so I'm excited about that. And I don't remember the variety. I have to go back and look at my notes. But this one was from seed. I'm gonna have to treat this one because it looks like it's trying to get some blossom end rot, or just the fruit is not setting correctly. Then I have peppers. I did buy these peppers. I did not grow them myself. I had a bit of damage early in the season. I tried to plant peppers and tomatoes way too soon. The ground gets so cold here, it freezes in the winter months, so there was no saving them. So, sorry for the camera work. But I do have some jalapenos. This one back here is a bell pepper. This is mostly jalapenos because we really like jalapenos in this house. And then this right here is one of my favorite peppers. And I've also tried growing it by seed, but it doesn't work. For some reason, it didn't work this year because of the, just tried to plant things too early. But this is the Caribbean Red Hot. I love Caribbean peppers. They have a nice earthy flavor to them. You plant them early in the season so that they can get their roots established, and then once their roots are established during our monsoon season, as we are entering now, they just take off. I've got ginger growing in here, but it hasn't come up yet, so I don't think it's gonna make it this year. And then I've got another tomato plant. I can't remember. I think this one might be a, I don't know. I'd have to look again, but I can't remember what kind of tomato this is. But this one was grown from seed. This area up against the house is going to be a medicinal herb area. There was a bed that was planted here and it got moved. I'm waiting for the winter to kill off my lamb's ear and the comfrey, and you know, or at least for those plants to go dormant, and then I will be able to move them properly. So we have two flocks. We have speckled Sussex, and we have our barred rocks. Everybody seems to get along just fine, which is good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So of our barred rocks, this is our rooster Rocky. And of our speckled Sussex, we've got two roosters right there. I think this guy here with the bigger comb is the one who seems to be doing his job. They won't start laying until next month, so that'll be exciting. Let's see here. In here, we have our chicks, our turkeys. They're still babies, and we aren't ready to release them out because there's a lot of stuff going on here in the chicken yard. Mainly that. We have baby chicks. So Rochelle, she's such a beautiful hen, and she's from our old property, and she was raised by one of our favorite chickens of all times. She was also a speckled Sussex, and so we decided to let her hatch out some more chicks because she was raised by a hen, and not raised, you know, in a hatchery or anything like that. So she would be a good mom, and she is proven to be. Hi, Gimpy. Our baby rabbits, get them some water. Their waterer broke yesterday, so I gotta get a new one for them. I'll do that today. Your leg is hanging out. I know. Hi. And over here is Big Mama. If you follow us on Instagram, then you know the story behind why our rabbits are in cages right now. It's kind of a tragic story. I really hate having them in cages. Hi, sweetie. These are our grow outs right now. So we've got quite the rabbitry going on. Hi, Buck. He is our Buck. We were not creative with the name. Hi, Buck. I think it's time to feed you guys. I think I need to put the camera down and just start feeding everybody, huh? You guys look really hungry. Well, let's go on a tour of the main garden. Let you guys see what's growing on there, because we've had some serious changes there in the main garden. I'm gonna flip the camera over and let you guys see Mr. 2 Acre Homestead. He's bringing the chickens something to eat, and I think you guys will be interested in it. He doesn't want to be on camera. That's okay. He set this down for us to see, but we have fodder. So We feed our animals this daily, and that'll be a video for a different day. So we're gonna start over here on the long rows. Let you guys see what's going on. So remember how I was telling you all, we have a problem with voles here on our property. And it's a really bad problem. Well, here's an example. Excuse me, Coda. This is what it looks like. The whole, they will come through and they'll clear it out, but then sometimes they cover it right back up. And this whole garden is just full of these holes. And the problem is that they can disturb the root system of the plants and then they don't grow properly. But in this row, I've got sunflowers that are trying to come up. And this row is full of crooknut squash. My family absolutely loves them. We can't get enough of them. And we eat them all throughout the winter. Sometimes I will can them. Sometimes I will, just freeze them often. And then sometimes we just eat them fresh. I just harvested yesterday. Apparently we missed one. That one is a good size. I like mine a little bit on the smaller side. I don't like them really large. They get too tough. We've got more sunflowers coming up here. Then we've got watermelons. And I'm super excited because our watermelon is setting fruit. We've got tomatoes and basil all up and down this aisle, this particular row. And the tomatoes are not doing well at all. And I have to say, I'm really surprised. I have grown this variety of tomato for years. This is called Heatmaster. I live in the desert, Southwest, so we get really high temperatures. And Heatmaster has always done well, but not this year. And so I may have to change up. Look at this. Then I have this to contend with. Now I know what to do with blossom end rot, but it's just one of those. I've been so busy with everything that I kind of forgot that I needed to treat the soil, the plants, so that they can take up the nutrients that they need and not have blossom end rot. So this is our long rows. All right, let's come in here. I have a big thing of, I need to pull this out. Sorry guys, I'm gonna weed with you on camera here. Yeah, that needed to come out desperately because I've got shallots here and they're coming along nicely. My Armenian cucumbers, which that's what this is, they are starting finally to trellis. I'm really holding my breath for a good harvest because the vine is just huge. So hopefully we'll get a good harvest. My blackberries are finally starting to take off. I think it has something to do with the soil temperature. Even though we're here in the desert and it gets really hot, seems like it's taken forever for the soil to get to a good temp. And look at that. Oh yeah, can't wait. I can't even remember what you guys are. Oh, spaghetti squash. I see my tag, spaghetti squash. My experiment over here is with kidney beans, and sad to say, they're not doing all that great. My beans are putting off a lot of leafy growth, which tells me there's a lot of nitrogen, but I've been amending the soils with potassium feed. Doesn't seem to be doing the trick, so we'll have to rethink things. There are so many flies, you guys. Oh my goodness. The rain has brought out all of the flies. It's just incredible. These are my potatoes. And what I have discovered, the problem I'm having with these potatoes, I can't even get them to grow enough to hill them up. So I think, speaking of the ground and the ground temperature, it might be just a little bit too warm now. So I was talking to another gardener that lives not too far from us, and she was saying that she has a difficulty with potatoes too. As you can see, this is another row of potatoes that has failed, because what happens here in our area is we just have such a large swing in temperatures. It can be really, really cold, and then it gets really hot, and it happens fast. So the seasons change really fast and really hard, and frankly, that's just not what I'm used to. But these beans over here, these are my contender bush beans, and they are doing fantastic. Look at that. Oh yeah, we're gonna have beans this year, finally. Homegrown beans. I struggled last year with homegrown beans at our previous property, and we had some sort of fungal disease, and it just was really bad. I still have brassicas here that are holding on for dear life. These, I'm waiting for them to go to seed. These are broccoli. I want the seed of these because I like how they have held out throughout the season, so that's what I'm waiting for. When you see characteristics of a plant that you like, save the seed, because it's just going to keep doing the same thing. This bed I've let go fallow because we're going to be placing more raised beds. And as you can see, I've got raised beds going. This raised bed, this metal raised bed back here, is going to be where the where the potatoes are eventually I'm gonna try to dig them up and put them in here and see if they do a little bit better. I still have some clearing out to do here in between the beds because this was a row. But as my son pointed out, he saw this little cauliflower and he's like, oh mom, cauliflower for me. So yeah. And I was able to transplant, these are collard greens. And it was interesting what I found with these collards is they were, when I pulled them out of the ground, the roots were being eaten alive by grubs. So I'm really glad I was able to take the roots up, take the dirt off, make sure all of those were off, and was able to put them in this raised bed. And here's more raised beds. And so these are all patty pans here. I've got some bell peppers here. And I think these are just California wonders. What concerns me is the birds. They seem to have been munching on them. And we have lots of birds here. This bed is doing fantastic. Got, as you can see, Swiss chard, kale, red curly kale. Red curly kale seems to just do fantastic. It is my favorite kale to grow. It is disease resistant, bug resistant, more nutrient dense for you because it is, of course, I said it's red and I meant purple. It's a purple kale. It is just, I love this particular kale. Over here, I forgot what these guys are. I think these are my, oh, how can I forget? These are my zucchinis. They look small right now. They're still new, and then I put them in this new area, so they're working it out, but they'll get there. I just harvested out of this bed, so I've not covered it with wood chips. This one has the red Russian kale in it, and I am hoping, fingers crossed, that I will be able to get red rhubarb, or not red rhubarb, just rhubarb, more rhubarb in here. This rhubarb is brand new to our property, and yeah, so hopefully. But I'm about to pull this red Russian kale. It's not doing good at all. I'm not happy with it. It's just really disease resistant. So we'll probably be pulling that out soon. While I'm up here on this side of our gardens, figure I'll let you guys see this part. So I forgot how much compost we had delivered here. I can't even begin to tell you, but we had a lot of compost. But then we also had wood chips delivered, and that's what you're seeing. It is going to be quite the job to put wood chips all on our garden, but it is a top priority. The reason for the wood chips is when you have wood chips, it retains the moisture in the soil, and so you don't have to water as much. And since I live in a desert, water is really important. Now, just the other day, we came through here. These are all cucumbers. They're a Japanese cucumber. I can't remember the name of them, but my family loves them. They make really good cucumbers or pickles, and yeah, we thoroughly enjoy these. I also have my strawberries that I bought several months ago. These are quinault, I believe. Yeah, quinault. Had to look at the tag. They're ever-bearing, so constantly getting fruit off of them. And what I do is I will pick them and freeze them. Really? She's like, hey, pick that grass. Obviously, I have some weeding to do. But I don't think there's anything really for me to harvest out of here with the cucumbers. I know with the strawberries, that might be just that one single strawberry. The kids came through here the other day and cleaned out the strawberries. And if you have kids and you grow strawberries, you know what I mean. They cleaned it out. Yeah. Apparently the grass is a hit. I am going to have to do this again next year, but it'll have to be in the spring. This is, I've got a dog who's just really following me around. These are chickpeas. They're not setting flower just yet, and they're looking a little worse for wear because it's hot and they're a cool season crop. So, you know, it was an experiment. Sorry for the camera. These are my Jerusalem artichokes. This bed is way too small for them. So I'm gonna leave a few and then start transplanting them in all of these beds. It's my dream to have this whole fence lined with Jerusalem artichokes. So the calendula is not happy anymore, and I don't blame it. It's been really hot. The stock, my lovely stock, is also worse for wear, but that's normal this time of year. And then down here I have cantaloupe. It's got some flowers on. I think this is Hallie's best cantaloupe. And yeah, I was at the nursery center not too long ago and picked up some Thai basil. I don't know why I always forget about Thai basil, and it's not until the end of the season that I remember it. This is my tarragon lavender patch, and the tarragon is doing really well. The tarragon is right over here, and it's doing well. The lavender is doing good too. It's surviving and thriving. Tuxedo, get out of there, now. That's why sometimes it's not good to let your dogs in. So these are sweet potato slips. And, you know, honestly, you guys, I let them get a little long and leggy. But they seem to want to produce. And hopefully this bed is mulched enough so that it doesn't get too hot. I really hope that this works out. And then we're back over here, close to where we started. Is that a bee that died in there? Odd. No. Alive, kicking and well. Uh-oh. I think I better get out of the way. So this is what it's looking like here on the 2-acre homestead. We've got lots of expansion going on. We are also getting ready to expand out here. We are in the process of getting goats, and my husband is getting everything set up so that we can have goats out here. Super excited about that. So that's what it looks like here on our homestead. Thank you for going on a garden tour with me. Sorry if the camera work was a little bit shaky. There are a million flies out here. I can't believe how many flies there are. But that's it from all of us here on our homestead. So from our family to yours, happy homesteading and be safe out there.